Hey guys, JB Coins here with another live stream. Welcome to this one, and this one's a little different from the last one, which is our goal after all. You can see in front of you that we've got a half dollar box, $500 worth of half dollars. And yeah, we cut the box open before we started the video so that I don't have to stick my face in there. We also have something new, letters from our fans. So we'll open those in a little bit. We're going to open the coins in a second. What we're going to do is basically, first off, remind you that, let's see, Jericho. Hey Jericho, hey Troy. Don't forget we have on JB Coins Inc., jbcoinsinc.com, the website, which we have links below the videos. We have the list of all the known error coins that I could locate on half dollar coins. We have, these are the Kennedys, and then we have Benjis and before that. So, hey George, hey Heidi. So the list is there for you guys. And what we're going to do today is we're just going to grab these and cut them open and basically do the silver hunter kind of thing. We don't have time to go through the entire box, obviously, coin by coin. You know, after we get done with today's live stream. Hey James and Kim and Tina and Ishan. How come you never show your face? Because I'm wanted, man. But don't tell anybody. Anyway, I'm gonna start cutting these open, and we'll look at the sides and see if we find any silver, any obvious silver, because invariably it seems like I do this, do it on camera, and then wind up sorting through the coins later and finding one that snuck past me. So with our lighting and the way we've got this set up, hopefully it'll help. Don't see any silver in that one. So don't forget to hit the like button if you like the, this is just like any other video. So in the sense that, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If you do, right away it'll show you a bell. And if you hit that bell, then you'll get notified of any new video we put up immediately. And when we go live like we are today, you'll also get notified about that. And that way you don't miss out. Let's see. Ed, hey, how you doing? He said hi to both of us, and we're both saying hi back. Keep tearing through these. Like I say, we're looking mainly for the silver, but we've shown you in a few videos, and I'm going to try it on this one. See what we get. If you look at the real shiny ones, nope, that's a 91p. That's surprising. Coins minted after 2002 were not intended for circulation, so you have to buy them directly from the mint, like we showed you in one of our videos. And so if you find a 2002 or newer, they were never intended to be in circulation. Somebody paid a premium to buy an entire box of those, and then at some point they put them into circulation. So if they're in good shape, they're definitely worth keeping. A lot of people do collect those coins, and they are usually referred to, if you see the acronym, NIFC, not intended for circulation. So, for example, here's a nice shiny one here. Take a look at that. Oh, it's a bicentennial. Wow. Wow, that's a gorgeous bicentennial. As you know, we keep bicentennials if they're in good shape. So we'll set that one aside. That one, scroll back too fast. Oh, okay. There we go. A little bit better viewing. See if I can get my computer working a little bit better. There we go. It was lagging behind just a hair as usual. Found 2 halves of my metal detector last week. That's cool. Were they Benji's or Kennedy's? Let's see. Can you talk about the 64 SMS Kennedy and how to tell if you have a dangling 4? I know you sent us an email about that. I haven't got to it. Apologize. 64, I don't believe there was an SMS that I'm aware of. I know you talked about in the email about the not the accented hair variety. This is an interesting one. I'm gonna set this one aside. The SMSs that I'm aware of back then were 65 through 67. So I've got to do some research to see what you're referring to, Heidi. That's part of the reason why I haven't responded to that one yet. But anyway, John Yum, Big Ben and Walker. Big Ben and Walker. Wow, those are great finds. The metal detector finds. He had a Benjamin and a Walker, a walking half. That's awesome. Do a live stream giveaway, please. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what. How about we do this? If we find silver, anybody that does the super chat, if we find silver, we will give that to the folks that do super chats. Okay? I don't know if we're going to find any silver or not. So you know, it's up to you if you want to participate. But that's what we got going for today. 79, another shiny edge that fooled me. Tina Hale, you will. I hope you're right. Do you ever give estimates on the value of coins? No, we usually don't, mainly because if you watch the videos we put up about the auctions, you just sit there and your jaw drops. You know, you're like, okay, I would have said that was a $100 or $200 coin because I see a coin at an auction that looks exactly the same and it sells for $200, and then Heritage puts the exact same looking coin up and it sells for 10 times that. And when you get down into what I assume is our kind of, you know, 6-pack, lunch pack, you know, $50, $100 coin budget kind of thing, it's really hard because you just don't know. It's, you know, you don't know what a coin's going to be worth, no matter what the books say, no matter what the appraisals say, until you actually sell it. The guy, if you guys remember the 69S double die that we had, one of our guys found it and put it up to Heritage Auction, and he only had an AU58 for a grade, which is considered to not be that great. It was kind of beat up. But the pre-auction estimates were 20 to 21,000. He got 18. So he didn't quite get what they told him that they thought he would get, but still he was really happy with what he got. So it's kind of hard for us to do that because we're not coin dealers, we're coin collectors, and you know, obviously we do a lot of research and do this kind of stuff, you know, but that's why we refer people to let's see, can you go look at Heritage website and see what they're selling for? Yeah, that's a great resource that we recommend all the time, is to go to the Heritage website because they have a free appraisal. So if you have a coin you think is rare and special, you can submit it to them and they'll be very honest. They'll say, you know, sorry, it's not worth anything, or they'll say, yeah, we think we can sell this and we think we might be able to get X, but you got to get it graded. But the other thing is, especially if you're a new coin collector and you're learning, and I know we've gotten quite a few emails about, can we do more videos about this type of, you know, teaching new people how to collect. If you go through the Heritage website and you go look at an auction that they've had, look at what had sold before, and you can literally scroll page after page after page of all the different kinds of coins that there are, things that you never knew existed, things that you know, you think of an 1804 coin, for example, and think, You know, that's got to be thousands of dollars. I could never have one of those. And depending on what it is, it might have sold for a couple $100. Or the opposite could be true. We've seen modern coins now sell for a lot more. But the point is, you'll learn a lot more about what's out there, what kind of coins there are, and what, you know, what to look for and what they sell for. So it's all part of the education, and to me, that's almost better than looking at, you know, the books or the magazines, because the books or the magazines are history. There's always a lag. The monthly magazines or the weekly magazines are a little bit more current, but they're kind of a reactive thing. Where the auctions, that's what's going on that weekend at the auction, and what the current market is bringing for specific coins. Ooh, that fooled me. I thought that was silver, and it's just a really nasty bicentennial. That is not a keeper. It even sounds like silver though. Let's see. I need to learn what SMS is. Okay, SMS means Special Mint Set. It's very similar to what we just shot a video alerting you guys at August 1st, the 225th anniversary release of the specially treated, uncirculated coin set is coming out August 1st at noon Eastern. And what they're going to do is they're going to do a special finish on the coins. They're still going to be Philadelphia and Denver, just like the regular uncirculated set. So you're still going to need to get both sets, basically, to complete your collection. The difference is that special uncirculated set is neither a proof nor is it a mint set. And from 65 to 67, the US Mint made a decision that they weren't going to produce either mint sets or proof sets. And the numismatic community was so upset and raised so much noise that they came out with what they called special mint sets. And same thing, they were really not either one, but they had the faces, for example, were frosted, and they had a polished field, so they were similar to a proof. Jeremy Johnson kicked in $5. Okay, so if there's any silver right now, Jeremy is the only one on the board. George, 64 Kennedy is a special proof coin. It has accented hair. Yeah, that was one that year. You have better luck being hit by lightning 7 times in a row than finding one. Yeah, that's true. Let's see, you've probably gotten this question before. This is from Hank, the elevator guy. How often Ben Franklin's and Watkins appear in $50 boxes? You know, it depends on, we do videos on this stuff all the time about it does matter where you live, and it seems like it matters where you live. And I haven't been able to figure out if it's a higher volume market like, say, Chicago or New York, or a smaller market like a little hometown kind of thing, that the turnover of currency in that area, whether or not it ages or whether or not it gets more new coins. So, you know, I see guys that are opening boxes, and I question sometimes when I see a guy open a box and half the box is Benjis and walking, you know, and all that, and you just sit there and go, really? You know, we have found some, but they're, you know, Benjis we have found, you know, enough times that I would say, yeah, you do find them. But the Walking Liberty, I can't recall that we've ever found a Walking Liberty. Oh, that's close. That's a 2000 P. I don't know that we've ever found a walking $50 in a box. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Could happen right now. Let's see, Heidi George, I'm not talking about the accent here. Ah, okay. That gives me a clue. I'm going to have to look for that one, Heidi. JMB, the proof dies were all being moved to San Francisco during 65 to 67. That's why the mint went to SMS for those years. Thanks, George. Didn't know that. Ethan Glass, hi George, hi Ethan, JB, I have a 1910 wheat penny. What's that worth? We just got through talking about we don't give values. We can't. Again, remember, please subscribe, hit the notification button, the little bell, so you don't miss any of these live streams or any videos we put up. Remember to hit like, because we do get graded on these, and the like button's the way they check it out. And you know, every Sunday, 4 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to be here. Let's see, don't see any in there. Gotta step up the pace a little bit. So far we have Jeremy, I believe, is the only super chatter we've got right now. So if we find silver, right now it's his. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are having conversations on your own over there, so that's cool. I'll just let you guys go. A lot of shiny ones in that one, but no silver ones. I was kind of worried that whether or not I'd be able to get through this box, but I'm doing pretty good right now. George Susie, come on, silver. Hey George, it's like the lottery. You gotta play. You know, you don't buy a lottery ticket, you don't get the silver. Jeremy gets it. Let's see. This one's tearing open funny. A lot of beat up looking edges on those. Yeah, I have that old penny. I'm following, like trailing behind here. Jeremy, love watching all your videos. They're awesome, very important. Thank you, Jeremy, and thanks for the $5. Hopefully we find you some silver here. Shiny ones are worth 50 cents. Yeah, that's true. They're worth 50 cents unless they are in really good shape and they're past 2002, and then they can be worth more than that. Of course, even the ones that aren't shiny can be worth a pretty fair amount of money. If you've seen some of our videos, in the one box we found a 65 double die, and that is not silver, but the value as a double die is actually greater than if it was silver as an error coin. Also because of the condition it was in. We also found an 82 no FG that was in very good shape that we still haven't sent off for grading. We kind of have a little pile that we have to get going. Let's see, George, I was rooting for Jeremy. Okay. That's the funny thing, that when I see boxes and I'm going through these things and somebody will put their mark on the coins just to let themselves know, I guess, or let other people know that they're searching coins in that area. That's a 71. That's really shiny for a 71. And you know, they've thrown the coins back, and you look at the coin and you go, you know what, if you hadn't marked that coin up, it was actually worth more than the silver content. How does Super Chat work? Johnny is asking. You go in and you click on the Super Chat contribution, and you put in an amount. I think it's anywhere from $2 on up to like $500. The biggest we ever got was $100, I think, on our either our first or second one from from Garrett at Grove Minting, and that blew us away. That was the biggest one we ever got. But most of the folks, you know, 2, 5, 10, 20. We've got a few of you guys that have thrown 20 bucks at us at a time. Let's see. Just joined. What are we looking at here, please? I'm cracking open, and there's Grove Minting. Jared. Speak of Jared, and Jared shows up. We're opening a $50 box live Anybody that does a super chat, if we find silver, we will divide the silver up amongst the super chatters. So far, the only one we have is Jeremy, who's got $5 contributed. And as always, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that when we go live, you get notified and you don't miss it. And like I said, today's giveaway is we're going through these, and any silver that we find will be divided amongst the folks that give super chats. And so far, we're 2/3 of the way through the box, or 1/3 of the way through the box, and no silver. But I think it was Tina said we are going to find silver. So if she says so, we're going to find it. Again, the lists, I try to keep those as current as I can because believe it or not, the books post all the errors and stuff, and you go to a coin show or you go to a coin shop and you ask them if you have an error, and you say, oh, I found a 1968 and it's a double die, and they go, no, there's nothing in the book about 68 double dies. You know, you're wrong. It's garbage. It's not worth anything. People find stuff all the time. They just found another 92 close AM. Everybody in the print media is going nuts about that. They just found 2 more 82 small, 82D small mint mark copper pennies. And they just found another couple of the copper World War II cents from 1944. So those have been selling. And I think they just found another 46S with the trumpet tail, something. I think it was one of those. So, you know, if they're finding coins that have been out there in circulation for 70 or 80 years, someone just found a 1900, I think, that had an error. And this whole time, the coin community and all their experts said, oh, there's no error. So all the people that threw that coin back for the last 116 years, gee, wouldn't they like to have that back? Karen Osborne, $2. Tina Hale, no way you can go to the return desk and ask for the $50. They always sell back to you. Okay, that's a good point. And Patrick above her says, love the Grove minted coins. Agree with you. Grove stuff is top quality stuff and very cool. And also a good source to go look at the reproductions that he's done there and the commemoratives. Hey, Grove minting, $10. Thanks, man. Video donation on the house, no need for silver. Yeah, you kind of got a ton of it over there, so Jared, I can understand that. I appreciate it though. Jared does a lot of research on the coins that he does the reproductions on. So when you buy something, you've got a lot of history there. And if you even read why he got into doing what he's doing, that's a very interesting read in and of itself. And like George says, I love my 77 Frank Gasparro commemoratives. He has the nickel and the silver. So do we. They're just amazing coins. He's got a coin that is a 1/10 ounce. If I get this wrong, I'm sure Jared can correct me. It's a 1/10 ounce silver. I think it's 0.99 silver, and it's a commemorative of a very rare coin, and I'm drawing a blank right now. But Ann Schiraldi just kicked in $10. And so we have several folks here on the super chat. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Not the Feuchtwanger. It is the Feuchtwanger. Okay, there we go. That is the coin that we did a video on that because a real one went across the, and real I mean an original one, went across the auction blocks, and we did a video on that, and we actually read in that video part of, with Jared's permission, part of what he had written and what he has posted on his website about that coin. But it's pretty cool, and it's a 1/10 of an ounce of silver, and it's $10. You know, I mean, we're gonna get that. And it's beautiful quality. It's not just like somebody slapped it down and went for it. Ooh, 74. Rats. I thought that was a good one. Let's see. Troy's back. What did I miss? Oh, Treasures of the Century, is that a German coin? He's asking about the Furtwängler. I'll defer to the expert on that one to school you guys. You guys can see each other's comments, obviously, because you're having a conversation back and forth from time to time. Excuse me. Apologize. I had dry mouth. JB, what did you just say about the 82 copper penny you just mentioned? Oh, apparently they found a pair of 82 small cent copper pennies that were just attributed recently, I believe by Ken Potter. Guy in Minnesota, I think, found them. And they're 3.1 ounces, so they're on a bronze planchette, mint type planchette, not a foreign, you know, like we've seen some of them across the auction block that we featured for you guys, you know, where they've been on like an Ecuadorian planchette or something, and they come out at 4 grams instead of 3.1. So there's 2 of them that hit in the last week that I'm aware of. That's what I was referring to. It was the 82 small d. And George is right. Yeah, that's the 82 is the transitional year from copper to zinc. Up to this point, if you wanted to have a complete set of 82s, you had 7 varieties to collect, the different metals and mint marks and all that. And everybody always wondered why there wasn't an 8th. Well, that's the small d copper makes it number 8. So what's special? Because I have an 82 small date copper penny. If that's true, dude, and you have a 82 and it is a legitimate small date, and it's 3.1 ounce, you have probably a really big chunk of money sitting in your hand. And I'm not saying you don't, but a lot of people have been submitting 82 large dates to Numismatic News, and so much so 82s and 83s trying to say, you know, hey, I've got one, and they've been submitting them to either photos or mailing them to Dave Harper at Numismatic News, that he just wrote a piece this week, which is how I know about those coins, and he actually put a photo in there, which you might be able to find online, the difference between an 82, if not PCGS, you can go in there and put in large date and put in small date, and it'll be very, very obvious if you have a large date or a small date, because of the distance from the rim, okay? And a few other features that you look for, but the weight is like the last piece of the puzzle. If it fits the design, then you check the weight, and then if that all still holds, then you send it to someone for attribution, like an NGC or Ken Potter or someone of that nature. I hesitate to send it to an individual because I don't know whether I'm going to get it back. J-Mother Destroyer just got on. How you doing, man? Let's see. Seth, hey Jay, can I ask what you think of the Peace and Morgan dollars? They're very cool, and right now they're very collectible. The Morgans are starting to take off in value. The pieces are still reasonably affordable, except for some of the key dates that are virtually untouchable. But in fairly good condition, you can get those coins. And if you want like what they would call a melt value, they're still the same value as one of these. If it was a Kennedy half dollar that was 90%, they're going to be worth the same melt value. But if you could find one that's slightly above that average uncirculated, or excuse me, like an extra fine, something like that, VF, XF, you might be able to find them affordable. And you know, in an estate sale, you might score some of those, but they're really cool. They're really nice. They would be really nice to have. Morgan's were great designs. F-Class, JB Coins. I have a 79 Susan B. Anthony struck on a 2000 plated North. Yeah, is this the error according to the mints process? Yes, that is. If you have that, the 79 on the 2000P planchette, and it is the gold color native dollar, I would be getting a hold of Heritage Auction like, you know, tomorrow morning first thing, and finding out what process they need to attribute that, and get it appraised, get it slabbed and graded, and they will probably give you an estimate of what it'll sell for. You can probably look in their historic sales and get an idea of what the last one that went across the blocks went for, and see what kind of money you're looking at. No silver yet. Troy just asked. So again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button bell so that you don't miss out on live streams or when we post up videos like we did the last couple of days, where we just slam a bunch of them out, which we hope you guys like those. You know, again, we're trying to show you guys what's out there, teach you guys a little bit, that you know, the new folks. We get a lot of positive feedback from the folks that have never seen those kinds of things before. That's kind of why we do that stuff, and also to show you that, you know, for example, my Norfolk that I like, the commemorative, you know, it's a $300 coin. I thought it was more than that. And then you see some of the other ones that I don't think are as attractive, but because of the rarity factor or some other factor, you know, they're selling for 15 grand. And they sold for $1 at the event. You know, so if you went to the Centennial in 1936, or your grandfather did, they were paying 2 times face value for that coin. And it went across the block last weekend for, several of them went across the block in excess of 15 grand, okay? And Grandpa paid $1 for them. So that'd be like one of those Wayback Machine things. You want to go back and buy them, you know? Jeremy, never heard from Heritage on my 43 steel wheat cent. I would give them a phone call, man. Pester the hell out of them. You know, I know they're getting slammed with a lot of requests. You know, there's a lot more activity. I think the folks on YouTube, myself included, you know, not taking all the credit here, obviously, because there's a lot of folks out there, and but I think the fact that YouTube came along and channels like ours that have popped up and have started driving interest in a lot of these coins, so much so that the print media actually in the last month has started writing articles about some of our channels and mentioning them, a couple by name. They haven't found us yet, so they haven't found the best yet, but just kidding. I think they're starting to acknowledge that, yeah, there's a lot of activity being driven by this new media, that you guys can get direct access to us, that you guys can ask these kinds of questions, that you can't call Numismatic News and get a hold of someone who's going to treat you like a human being and talk to you and spend time, you know, like spend an hour of their Sunday doing something like this. They're just not going to do it because they're not geared that way. They probably started years ago on a typewriter and started typing out articles and sending them out once a month and good to go, you know. Same stuff that had been collected for 100 years, you know. That's why every once in a while we get a genius that sends us a comment like, you know, anything after 1964 is crap, or anything that's, you know, since it, you know, clad coins are all crap, and it's like, really? So the $5,000 nickel that just sold recently, that was from the 2000s, you wouldn't take that $5 grand? Okay, send it to me, I'll take it. I don't care if it's crap. You know. Let's see. Try, that's okay. My first time hunting half dogs, I got 2 rolls because I didn't have the money to get a lot, and I got 2 66 40%ers and a 69 40%er. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's a good point, man. If you can't afford to buy an entire box of coins, you know, or if you're in a hurry, that was actually one of the things I wanted to talk about. If you're in a hurry and you got to get the coins back to the bank, you know, because they're not in the budget or whatever, it's better if you buy fewer rolls and go through the list in detail and go through the roll in detail than to buy a whole box, tear through them like I'm doing right now, and then just throw them all back in because, well, there's no silver, so there must not be anything valuable there, or I'll just take a quick glance. You're going to leave so much on the table, you know. So let's see. So far, no silver. We got about 1/3 of a box left. We got, I think, 4 or 5 super chatters. And my sweetie's keeping track over here. Any silver we get will get divided amongst the winners. If we get only 1 silver and there's 5 of you guys, then, you know, we'll have to do a little bit of a drawing and see who gets it. One of the contributors was Jared from Grove Minting, but he said he doesn't need the silver. He's got enough. Made somebody laugh in the background. Hopefully Jared laughed too. Let's see. My average is 1 per box. Yeah, it's, you know, it's like anything else. Sometimes you get nothing, you get skunked, and sometimes you open up, you know, the very last roll and you get, you know, 3 of them. Sorry guys, I gotta get a drink of water. Much better. Grove Minting, Scrooge McDuck. Yeah, sitting on the piles of silver and coins, counting them. Yeah, that's funny. Those of you guys that have been on the chats and have seen Jared's contributions to the conversations and things that he's thrown in for you guys or questions he's answered, he's anything but Scrooge McDuck. But so that's a really funny one. I don't think that's one, but I'm gonna take a look. Nope, 74. Let's see. Do you have any pattern coins? I'm thinking you're talking to Grove. Grove has pattern coins. Jared, as I can say, said before, Jared can speak for himself on what he's got. Let's see, any quarters to look for? Actually, we're going to be doing some quarters in a couple of days. We have lists for almost every denomination up now. We still do not have the dime list complete. I'm still not done with it. What was out there is so bad and so many things that are not on the list that every time I think I got the list done, I wind up finding a couple more. So when it comes out, you know, our lists of errors run 4 to 5 pages, single spaced usually. Okay, give you that as an example. You know, it's crazy. You know, you can just go nuts. You know, and get really overwhelmed easily. So if you're doing this using our list, the easiest thing to do is sort it out by decade, sort it out by year, and mint mark, and then grab the list, and you can quickly eliminate if you don't want to look under a microscope and be the one that finds something that isn't on the list, because just because we have this list doesn't mean that we haven't found double dies on other things. Let's see, Tony Barrett, just wanted to say thank you. I watch all your videos. I'm disabled. Your videos have gotten me interested in coin collecting. It's a great way to spend my time. Your videos are so informative. That's awesome, dude. I appreciate knowing that, and I'm proud of you that, you know, you're getting into this, and you know, you got a whole world. I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were here, go to Heritage Auctions, prior sales, and just start surfing down through those pages, dude, and and see the kinds of coins that used to be made, the kind that Grove Minting recreates from the days when, you know, the design was important and the detail was important, and it was a little piece of art, or a little piece of art and history combined. Not like some of the garbage that they're trying to produce and push past us. And there are legislative moves right now that they're talking about, possibly when the state program on the quarters expire in 2020, we may be seeing European style coins, which mean aluminum, plastic, you know, denominations going away, things like that. Or forcing the dollar coin on us and getting rid of the paper dollar in its place. They're eventually going to force us to plastic, you know, like credit cards, like you see in the sci-fi movies. I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime, but that seems to be what they're doing. And you know, it's been done before. That's the scary part, is if you know the history of the government and the mint, they have, there was a time back in the 1800s where they banned silver. They said silver has no value. They just declared silver has no value. And so people thought silver had no value. It still did, just the government said that it didn't. So it's like Canada. They did away with pennies and nickels. Still no silver, guys. Sorry, we got 4 or 5 people that gave us super chats here, and so far, and they're the ones that would get the silver if we find it. We still got a few rolls left. Let's see, or bitcoins. Yeah, that's out there too. I'm not a big Bitcoin kind of guy, but I know the Bitcoins are going up and down. I'm really surprised to hear what they were going for a while back. JB, earlier you mentioned silver is a precious metal. Absolutely, silver is a precious metal, and that's why I said the government can say it's not worth anything, but those of us that trade in transactions, if the government goes broke, we're going to be grabbing silver, gold, and lots of other trade goods like they did 100 years ago. The government is no longer going to be in a position to tell us what is of value and what is not of value if they have defaulted, which the state of Illinois and Puerto Rico, who just voted themselves into statehood, and there's a question of whether or not it's legit, they are also broke. So there's a few of those things floating around out there that could affect what we have in our silver stash or gold coin stash or whatever valuables we have and collect that might be worth something after the government has to deal with some of these issues. And also, if any of the states default, that could also trigger a run on things like silver. What about Illinois? That's what I was just talking about. Illinois is basically bankrupt. They haven't filed officially, but they have told the Illinois Lottery, for example, has declared that they will no longer pay out on any large winnings. And if you get any small winnings, you have to wait 6 weeks plus to get paid. So, you know, anyway, back to the half dollars. We're getting into politics here. The politics affects the money and affects all of us, but we're hoping to find silver. So let's see if we can't find some here. We're down to 2. Got a lot of shiny ones on here, but we only have 2 rolls left. So come on, Tina, do your magic here. We need about 4 or 5 silvers in these last 2 rolls. Truth here just finished up 7,000 nickels and half in rolls, or half a roll in errors. Cool. Oh, and you were using the list. That's awesome, man. Great. You're welcome. That's what they're there for. Where can we find the list? The list is on our website. We talk about it on every video. It's under every video. There's a link to jbcoinsinc.com. and you don't have to scroll down very far. It's right below the top, and it has the lists. And somebody mentioned this past week that they didn't know what some of the jargon is, like a DDO or a DDR. If you're in the section where the lists are, to the right, there's a button that says, what does it mean? That's where we have all the things for the acronyms of DDO, DDR. Wow, another fake out. 71, can't get much closer than that to a 40%er, but that thing's really nasty. That poor coin's been through hell. And it looks almost like somebody marked it a while ago, but it's been like mistreated since then. So, went through the box. Unfortunately, no silver. Let's see what we got up here. A couple of your comments before I go to the mail here. We've talked about the lists. A couple of you guys have talked about the lists. We've talked about subscribing, the notification button, likes. Likes on these just count just like on a regular video. So if you like this and you're having fun, hit the like button, because that's how YouTube grades us. Let's see. Is the link in the description? Yeah, and it's real simple. It's jbcoinsinc.com@gmail. Or excuse me, jbcoinsinc@gmail.com. Spacing out here. But yeah, you can find it below any of the videos. You'll see a drop down below the video. You'll see the description of what the video is about, and then it'll say see more below here. You scroll down below there, and it has the links to the eBay site. It has the links to the website, and then if you scroll down further, it has links to things like the microscope and the ESCHENBACH magnifier and coin supplies and all kinds of stuff. And the lists are over on the website, as well as our Gmail account for you guys to send us emails, pictures of coins you want us to look at, that type of thing. Are you the JB Creations on Instagram? No, we are not. I won't coin hunt without J&B's lists. Thank you. We won't either. Holy hell, I just found a 99D error. Good, cool. Let's see, found a grease error on a penny over the date a couple years ago. There was no date on it. Yeah, we've shown a few of those too. I'm going to open the mail off camera because I don't want to disclose anybody's name or address accidentally, and I don't know what's in these things, so I'm kind of pulling it back. And can you talk about another variety coin that recently been discovered? When this live stream's over, you can actually watch it like a regular video. I already covered, God, probably 10 or 12 of them that have just been found in the last week. So, so if you want, just go ahead and when the video's over, it'll probably take about an hour for it to get processed and go live. Then you can go ahead and watch that, and then you can pause it and you can write down all the stuff that I mentioned, because there's a lot of stuff. That's kind of strange. Somebody just sent me a coin that they want me to sell for them. Okay, we don't want you to do that. Don't send us anything, please, in the mail that you don't want us to keep, okay? So we're gonna return this to this lady because she wants to sell that coin. She says that there's an error on it. I don't know if there is. I can take a look at it before I send it back to her. But if you're gonna send us something in the mail, that's why we said at the beginning of this video, this is new for us, fan mail, if you will. I can't remember the thing from when I was a kid, fan mail from a flounder or something like that, or some silly cartoon kind of thing. But anyway, you know, don't send us stuff in the mail unless you want us to keep it, because you know we don't want to be responsible for something like that. You know, she wants to sell the coin, she wants to get some money, And if we mail it back to her and it gets lost in the mail or something, you know, then we're in trouble, and we, you know, we're a bad guy, and we don't want to do that. So we don't want to lose anybody's money. Man, this one's taped up good. I'm gonna need some scissors. Let's see. Any ideas what it's worth? Oh, up and coming. Found a grease error on the penny over the date a couple of years ago. There is no date on it. Man, I don't know. We don't give values. We talked about that earlier. You know, that's one of the things that we stay away from because of the fact that you don't know until you go to sell it who is willing to pay for, you know, pay what, and depends on condition and everything else. You know, can't really tell you what it's worth, especially not seeing it or knowing anything about it other than that. Hopefully I didn't just show that. Excuse me, I need another sip of water. Let's see, there was some 71D struck on silver copper clad planchette. Yeah, there were quite a few years that are on our list where they were struck on silver clad planchettes. There were also, and the reason why I grabbed a coin earlier that kind of caught my eye because it was really thin, and it's not exclusive to half dollars, but it's half dollars and quarters. Both of them have dates where they've been struck on dime stock, and one of the key tells is that they're thin, they don't feel as heavy, and that one didn't. And so what you do is you look at it, you compare it to the thickness of a dime, and you put it on your scale, which we have a scale that we have linked down below. And we use it on a lot of our videos and even on the live streams. And I think it's like $8, and it's 500 gram, and I think it's calibrated to 500 grams, and it's accurate to within you know, like 0.1 gram. So it's and you can get a calibration weight for it as well. It's really, really handy, and it fits in your pocket. I just opened this other bag. Or this other envelope. There's no letter or explanation in it at all. I gotta kind of find out what the deal is, but there's all kinds of coins in here. There's a an Eisenhower dollar, and I mean, look at this, guys. This is crazy. There's a bunch of old nickels. There's a Kennedy half silver. There's an Eisenhower dollar that I don't believe is silver. No. Bunch of Jefferson nickels. 69S. Yeah. Some Canadian money. Some pennies. I have no idea. I don't know who did this. All I've got is a P.O. box. I don't have a name. I got no explanation, but that's kind of wild. Let's see. I have a 98 wide AM penny. How much is it worth? Again, we don't do valuations here. We're not coin dealers, so can't really help you with that one. Try Heritage Auction Free Appraisal. They are probably your best source to get an honest estimate of what it's worth. Hey JB Coins, Patrick says, how are you both doing? We're both doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. Let's see, these coins are nice, but Bitcoins are cooler. Well, go to the Bitcoin channel, dude. Let's see, Troy, I'll be going through a box of pennies tomorrow. Any recommendations? Yeah, obviously grab the list because there's a lot of stuff on there. The 20, I've got to double check. I believe I updated the 2017s. There have been some offset strikes recently, severe offset strikes, like you know, a third of the way off the coin. We've shown you some errors like that in the past. We weren't set up to do pennies right now, so you have to kind of imagine, you know, you have that much image, and this part of the coin here is just blank. It's the blank planchette. The coin was struck that far off. I've seen pictures of 2017s that people have found in the last week or two. There's also double dies on the obverse on 16 and 17, and I believe those are both on the list. But keep an eye out, because you know, we just did the check your change, the one before yesterday's, where my sweetie, you know, went to the Coinstar, and just out of habit we just reach in there, and she came home and we were shooting the video, looking at it, and I think we finished the video, and it was a nice 1960D, and then we put it back under and found out that the entire profile from his lips down his chin and down his neck and the front of his suit were doubled. So we have a 1960D double die, and I haven't had time to check the list to see if I even have that on there. In fact, I did. Come to think of it, I did. I added the word profile, but I don't know if we put it on the website yet, so it might not be on the list that's available to you guys, but we'll get that up there in the next day or two. But just know that the 60D, check his profile, besides the other double dies that are listed for that year. Let's see, J&B, the CoinOps sales group is a great place for questions and valuations. Okay, I haven't spent much time over there, you know, at all, so I really can't speak to it. Let's see, you need to do a video on Morgans. You need to have a lot of Morgans to do them, but yeah, that's on the list, Heidi. We'll get there. Patrick, I picked my order up from the bank on Friday, $150 in pennies. Wow. Looking through the first box, found a really nice 66p DDO. Was that double DDO? Oh, there you go. DDO. I can't even speak. 1DO001. That's the designation. For those of you guys that don't know, they give a designation depending on who it is. Wexler's usually start with a W, so his will be like a WDDR for Wexler, double die reverse, and then he'll assign a number. Let's see, George, don't be insulting. I'm not sure what I missed, but JB, are copy pennies worth saving? Yes, absolutely. Anything that is a copper penny we keep. I separate the wheats into one pile, and I keep the rest of the copper in another pile. And I sympathize with the guy that just bought the 125 bucks worth of pennies, because I have, if you remember, we did, I think, 10 boxes of pennies and ran them through the machine that we have that separates them. And I still have the bucket that's full of all the copper from that sort, and I have not searched them yet. So I have about 2.5 gallons of pennies that are pre-82 that are unsearched, that are copper. So I got to get the list out, and that's going to be like the bucket from hell or the My Lucky Charms bucket. I'm not sure which. Let's see. Oh, Cubs are winning. That's cool. What do you think about Ben Franklin half dollars? I love it when we see a Benji. When we're doing this and we find Benjis, that's just like, you know, even you could find a couple 64 Kennedys and that's cool, but you find a Benji and that just really gets you. It gets me pumped anyway. Let's see. How much was that machine? I believe the machine was around $400 or $500. I bought it probably 7-8 years ago. It's called a Rydale, and it discriminates between copper and non-copper, and it also supposedly you can set it up for either nickels or dimes. I can't remember. And the guy that owns it, it's just a little, you know, mom and pop kind of thing, and he's a really good guy to work with, and he'll do maintenance repair on it. He'll give it a tune-up. Mine's run God loads of pennies through it. So let's see. I have to say thanks to whoever sent me or sent us this pile of coins here. We have no idea who it is. We've got a P.O. box address that we can send a thank you card to. We're kind of running up. We're at an hour. We'll do our wrap-up business here. Remember to subscribe. Remember to hit the like button. Remember to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when we go live or when we post up a new video. We're going to do this every Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Sometimes we may wind up doing a surprise one on a Saturday, so having that notification is really important. It's kind of a goal that we're shooting for, but we just haven't got there yet. Our bicentennial dollar is worth saving. You know, it's like everybody has a preference. We have started pulling bicentennial half dollars and especially bicentennial quarters. If they are in good condition, we have started pulling them out of circulation and putting them into our collection, putting them aside, and basically hoarding them. Because yeah, we think that eventually, right now, they're not like they used to be, where you opened a $50 box and 10% of the box was bicentennials. They're starting to go away. And yeah, Treasuries of the Century says absolutely. Let's see, and yet you didn't know you don't have to buy the full Bitcoin. Okay, somebody else is having a conversation here about Bitcoins again. JNB, that guy, Scott, refused to be polite on the stream. Yeah, that was what I just guessed from that general thing. Yeah, and okay, and there you go. That's the problem with live stream, is we cannot block somebody from the channel. If you did that, dude, on one of our videos, you would be barred from our channel forever, okay? So politeness is required on our channel. If you can't talk like an intelligent human being and not use foul language or be disrespectful, then you need to go somewhere else, okay? Because we don't tolerate it here. Everybody here is to be treated with respect, and yeah, now you definitely have crossed the line. We're gonna write your name down and we're gonna report you to YouTube, dude. We will find a way to try and block you and report you as you know, harassment. Let's see, let's try this. Oh, hey, look at that. We can do some stuff. Oh, we can do some stuff to you. Let's see. I think we got him. Yeah, but I gotta find one of his comments because I think I just blocked him. So now I gotta go back and try and find him so I can report him. But yeah, we will definitely report him. Let's see. I hate to hit report because I could wind up reporting Troy instead of reporting him. They're kind of locked up. Okay.
That's fine.
All right. It deleted on our end. Cool. That's good. All right, guys. Anyway, obviously we've been on past an hour, and it gave, you know, it gave someone. You need a moderator. Yeah, we're basically the ultimate moderators here. But you know, we appreciate you guys spending your Sunday with us. We appreciate you watching our videos and contributing to the super chat and the channel. Believe it or not, when we did this first live stream just about a month ago, if you remember, we did a 15,000 subscriber giveaway. And believe it or not, here 4 weeks later, we are about 700 subscribers away from 20,000. So we owe that all to you guys, and we appreciate everything greatly. And the comments that are scrolling across, I really appreciate too. You know, the trolls are unfortunate. So glad to see you guys. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and until next time, JB Coins signing off.